Hello all, hopefully we're live and you're with us. If you are here, as always, please give us a little comment to let us know that you can hear us and you can see us and that we're coming along to you live and clear. Today is a very exciting day. Today is Stockist launch day, to which I feel we should have some party poppers and maybe some celebratory little hats maybe. But that was an idea I only come up with a moment ago. So luckily I haven't dressed Pete up in any daft hats.
No, I'm not in any hats tonight, don't worry.
Before I forget, shall we go over to Hostage Cam and say good evening to our dear Peter, who will once again plead that he hasn't left and that he needs rescuing. Well, it's all lies.
It's not lies, please let me out.
No, you can't do this on a weekly basis.
Yeah, but Lynn can't even vouch. I haven't been to see Lynn, so
you are like the boy who cried wolf. Yeah, they all know you have been out and about in the world, I am sure.
Yeah, I have. He does treat me fairly sometimes, so you know it's
only
all good.
Fairly sometimes. Okay, this is turning into Jeremy Kyle. We're coming back off of you. They've not tuned in for marriage guidance goes wrong or something, have they? Bless them. So okay, I can see a few
could
of you
add a new twist to the evening.
I think we could do it. We could treat this like relationship therapy. Actually, I would go very far as to say our crafters are a very intelligent bunch who could probably give us a lot of life advice.
They could, I reckon.
Yeah, I bet they've seen some stories and seen some life. So, okay, let's have a little look. Who have we got with us this evening? Good evening, Alison. Hello, Sharon. Lovely to have you here with us. Evening, Yvonne. Evening, Sheila. Evening, Wendy. Lovely to have you here. Wendy vouches that you haven't gone to see Wendy, so maybe you have been trapped in the little cupboard all week. You haven't. Don't lie to them. Evening, Judy. Evening, Sharon from Colorado. Oh, Judy's from Colorado. I thought I'd move Sharon then. Evening, Zoe. Lovely to have Zoe with us as well. Lynn wonders where you've got to. Where have you been this week? We went off to Highlight Crafts, didn't we, or liveshopping.vip. So we had a couple of days up there. That was lovely, as always. Alison, hope he comes out for his dinner, bless him. Oh, that's a good question. Dinner. We've only just remembered dinner, which that possibly sounds a bit daft, doesn't it? But we have just put jacket potatoes in, so we'll have jacket potatoes tonight. So I will let him out of his cupboard to eat a jacket potato at some point.
And I'll be swiftly returned.
Swiftly returned.
And shut back in.
Sad bit is my life would be so much more peaceful if that was the case.
No comment.
I think we leave you too long out of the room. Okay, so then, today, of course, sees Stockist launch day, to which I'm sure we should have a little fanfare or a little musical announcement to go off with that. But it's a very exciting day because it means that the brand new Floral lace collection is now available from our stockists. So just to give you a little rundown, in case you haven't already been for a little perusal and seen where you'd like to purchase this collection from, if it's a collection that you like the look of, I'm going to let you just know the stockists that so far have already placed their orders for this release and probably should be with most of them for today. I know that we'd have a new stockist, which their order I don't think has quite got there yet because it comes from Friday night, their order, I believe, or late Friday.
Should be tomorrow, hopefully, I reckon.
But we'll drop them in as well because it's en route to them. So little run through for you. We have got Gilly's Crafts, The Art of Craft, Cheshire Crafts, who are our brand new stockist, which is really exciting to see them come on board. And there's quite a few goodies heading their way, not only parts from this collection, but lots of our previous launches as well. So yeah, keep an eye on them. I doubt they've announced it yet, but it's coming. So sorry guys if I've ruined the surprise, but lovely to have you on board and lovely to have you as a stockist. Into Craft, Craft Bliss and Craft Mania, and liveshopping.vip, of course, as I'm sure many of you know, because hopefully that you watched lots of the shows that we did over the tail end of last week. And then, of course, our international stockist, our New Zealand stockist, who is Picture Stamps, they too have got this collection en route to them, if it isn't there already. So lots and lots of stockists available for you to kind of have a little look around. And as always, if any of our stockists are with us this evening and you would like to, please pop a little comment into the comment box with a link to your website or details of where to find you so that people can track you down. As everyone knows, hopefully by now, we don't sell direct here at Jamie Rodgers Crafts. It is all about supporting and working with our stockists. So please, guys, if you haven't already, have a little look around and check out the stockists. If you'd like to know more details about that little lot that I mentioned and you haven't already, you can find the stockist list on the website, which if you head onto the website, it's www.jamierodgerscrafts.com, and on there there's a little tab that says stockist list. And if you give that a click, it'll tell you about all of our stockists all around the world. Now there's many that I haven't yet mentioned because their orders haven't yet come through for us to pick and pack and send. The ones we've told you about are the ones which have already got these products in boxes and heading to them if not already there. So any other little chit chats going on in the comments that I have missed? Good evening, Sue. Lovely to have you with us. Laurie, lovely to hear that you've got lots of new goodies on the way as well. That's always lovely to hear. Evening, Wendy. Thank you very much, Sharon. That is lovely of you to say. Evening, Fran. So lovely to have so many of you with us this evening. Yes, Lynn, I have done my volume. Thank you for reminding me. Tonight I actually remembered before we went live. Even Pete came in and said, have you done the volume? So yes, for once I have. So no sudden bursts this evening of loud volume happening, hopefully. But hopefully this does mean you can hear us okay. What was I going to tell you? Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. I promise we'll start showing you some stuff in a minute and we'll do some demos, obviously. Something that I thought you might all appreciate knowing, going back to the website bit. Over the weekend, we've been doing lots of work on different bits and bobs around. And one of the things we've done is we've added a new idea gallery to the Jamie Rodgers Crafts website. So if you go on there and you click the little tab that says idea gallery, every collection we have done since we started last June now has a little tab. And if you give that a click, it will open up and it will show you at the top of the page the products in that release. And then you've got all of the cards, or most of the cards that I could find, to be honest with you, all photographed underneath it. So if you're looking for some inspiration or you remember some cards that you've seen on a live and you'd like to see them in picture form, obviously we post loads on our Facebook page, but sometimes we miss these bits, don't we? Sometimes they get a bit lost in the feed. This is a bit like a Pinterest style board for you, if I suppose, that you can go and have a little look at if you would like to. And again, at the top of the page, it will show you all of the items that were in that release. Not every item that's used on the cards, but it will show you all of the ones on the release. So hopefully that will give you a bit of help on them days where we've lost a bit of mojo, because that happens to all of us, doesn't it? It's always nice to have a bit of a database, I suppose. I was going to count up how many cards are on there. I would imagine it's got to be, I don't know why I'm looking at Pete, he's looking very glazed. I don't even know if he knows that we've done this. I would imagine, do you? Oh,
I do, I'm just thinking.
Lots happens around here and we don't all know about everything. But I think there's about 700 or 800 cards, I would guess. Lots from me, loads from the design team. So hopefully a bit of a database for you to go and have a little look at. Pinterest is something that's on our list to add to in time as well. So you never know, one day I might be able to tell you that we're on there too. But at the moment, I'm hoping this is a quick instant win for everybody, that they've got a bit of a database to go and have a look through. Kim's just back from the pub. We like to hear that. Good to hear. Good to hear you're back.
We worry when she's not at the pub, don't we?
We do worry. We do worry. Okay, so let's have a dig through then, shall we? Because I've waffled lots and we haven't really even shown you what we're doing. So this evening is Stockist launch day for the brand new Floral Lace collection. Pete is going to be on hand to throw lots of samples at us in a minute, and boards, just in case Pete's forgot with all my yabbering. And if you haven't seen the new release yet, this is just a quick overview. So it won't go on for hours, I promise, but it'll give you a little look at it in case you haven't seen it. I'm always aware that people join us and maybe this is their first Monday night natter and they've not seen what's going on over the last couple of weeks to know about this collection, or tuned into the live shopping.vip shows. So then, this is a great example. This is our first lace butterfly die, showing you the die set. And then with this, we have a matching stencil, a matching stamp set, and matching MDF. Being honest with you, if you haven't heard my waffle before, we started with this collection last August, giving you the ability to stamp on your MDF and stencil over the top of your stamped images, and a great way to match up your MDF to your stencil to then stamp on top of. Our new bit are our matching dies, and this brings in the ability for you to go ahead and cut out those stamped images or stenciled images with ease without having to do it with scissors, because they're looking at the detail running around that die. There's no way anyone's going to want to attempt to cut out that scallop. I know many of you have over the time since this release come out, but let's save you the hassle. Let's bring you a die to do that. And not only will we bring you the outside die, we will also bring you the filigree element to give you a completely different version. So if you don't like that lot and you're actually just looking at this and thinking, well, can I use that on its own? Absolutely. If you like the look of this lot, then it all works together. So it's kind of doing a collection that stands on its own 2 feet, but equally works in conjunction with a collection that's already available, bringing new life to an existing collection, which is something we love to do. If I share with you just the sample board and then a couple of samples to give you an idea of what this is actually going to do for you in its die format. So of course your stamp will match up with that, and you can stamp over the top of that empty shape, or you can use it as the filigree and cut out, or you can even leave the filigree part in your cardstock. And then you've got matching dies, a couple which have got debossed detail on them. Hopefully you can see that okay in the base too. And then 2 solid ones, which again match in with the stamps that you're going to see on this board. You can of course once again use all of that independently, or you can use it all together if you wish. So just a couple of samples to give you some inspiration with this. This one here, this one's done by our lovely Lynn, and Lynn's done one from a self-adhesive sheet and then done a die cut version with the filigree work in it and put that over the top and infilled with glitter. These are of course our brand new glitters, which again are now released to the stockists as of today. So very exciting. Just a couple of cards, and I know we've shown you lots of these last week, so I don't want to bore you if you watched last week and you're watching this week. So I'm just going to give you a little flick through of a few of them, showing you the stamps and the dies working together, and of course the dies being used on their own, like this lovely card here by Sharon. Oh, well, I was going to stop there, but I've got to show you the next one. This one's done by Wendy. You talk of show-stopping cards. When they come through and you see a card like this, you know that they've had a lot of fun creating with it. And you know that whoever receives this card is going to have a show-stopping sort of mantelpiece decoration while this card is on display. So Wendy has created her own aperture card. I'm going to open it that way so you can see. She's created her own aperture card. And then in the centre, she's created a hanger using the butterfly die, the glitter, and one of our MDF dies as a central part to give it the body and strength it needs to be its own double-sided hanging element in the middle of that aperture. I just think that is such a cool card, and one that I'd be really chuffed to receive or to have created. So we can't not show you that one. Then we're going to move on. We're going to have a look at the next die set. So of course, our new element today is our lace balloon, which is now available from the stockists. But it of course coordinates with the stencil. It coordinates with the matching stamp, and it coordinates with the matching MDF. So just like the last set, you've got that ability to leave all of those pieces as they are and just stick to the die, or bring them in and use them together if that's something you would like to do. The die on its own is absolutely beautiful, showing you the lace cut out, and then of course being left in the cardstock, and of course the outside edge as well. And then this one also comes with this really cool banner. We're going to use this in one of our demos, but the banner's got this really cool debossed scroll line that runs around it, which really gives it quite an elegant feel. And this works quite nicely with several of our sentiments we've brought to you previously. And of course the stamps which come within this set, and the sentiment stamps as well, which were in this original release. So again, giving you another platform to build on top of with lots and lots of stuff. It doesn't have to just be the one die that sort of comes with it or the one stamp. So here's just a few samples, sharing a couple of ideas with you of what you could be creating, whether you choose to cut it and layer it, whether you use the stamps with it, of course, all up to you how you wish to go, but it gives you that freedom to create different styles depending on the elements you would like to be using. Oh, Zoe likes the butterfly. Sharon says this is the best butterfly die, and Alison says she's got the butterfly coming. Oh, that's good to hear. It is a lovely one. It is, yeah, it's beautiful. Whether you choose to match it with the stamps or use it on its own, really, you know, you can't go wrong. There's lots of lovely samples there. That's just a little glimpse at a few of our hot air balloon ones. I am going to sneak in this one as well. I always have that last one I want to share with you. This one's done by Lynn, and I love how she's teamed it with the mechanical collection, which again is a lovely release, but really nice to sort of see that mechanical collection brought in more of a steampunk way, and kind of nodding towards that travel element as well, which is lovely. So, okay, our next one we're going to have a little look at is the lace square. So this one didn't have a stencil or MDF to go with it, but it was just a stamp in its original format. But now the die set brings in that ability to trim this out. And what we've done with the die set, we've given you a separate outside square, meaning that you can trim this out as a separate panel, or you can leave off that outside edge and bring in the central panel, that central edge, to cut an aperture in that window instead if you wish to. Or of course, you can stick just to the die and use the filigree panel which comes with it. Whether you choose once again to use that outside edge or inside edge is up to you. You'll then find you've got the pieces to match all of the flowers and all of the sort of flourishy parts which come within this set. I love these two little flowers. Those to me are some of the prettiest flowers throughout the whole collection, and having the ability to die cut them out is brilliant. I also love these ones, which are the deboss flowers found within this collection, which really look stunning, and we're going to use those in our demo as well. Here's a little board to give you an idea of what that's going to look like, whether you choose to cut it out or leave it in your cardstock. And of course, because it doesn't have an edge attached to it, you can choose how wide a border you want to give it, which is really nice. And then just looking at a couple of those deboss elements down the bottom there, look how pretty they are. Okay, I've had a very busy few days, to be honest, since we got back from the shows, but I really want to make an all-white card using those flowers, so a white work card using those flowers. I think that would look really, really pretty. So just to give you a little overview of a couple of samples, just quickly flicking through a few of these to share with you again how those stamps are going to match up with those dies, how those dies can be used on their own. This is cool. This one's done by our Wendy. And Wendy's turned this into a little envelope, little pocket, which looks really, ignore the post-it, forgive me, but it shows you how you could make a little envelope out of this. And then on the inside, she's put a matching card, which looks really, really cute and really, really cool, which I've just thought that was so lovely. So, okay, lots of those. Oh, this is a nice one, little simple one for us who like to make small cards. Really nice to show how simplistic that can be and how modern. And then I'm conscious I've been waffling lots and we haven't done any demos, so I'm going to speed up and show you the last couple of bits. This one is our lace border. So again, beautiful lace stamp with matching die set. And the die really brings in those edges, brings in the top and bottom edge to cut around that stamped image. But you've also got, I think, probably my favourite die, because this beautiful filigree lace is so pretty. And having those separate edges means we can leave it anywhere we wish to within our cards. So it might be the edge of a card blank, it could be extended to be a border to go around a scrapbook page, it can be built up like this one here to make a larger background with it. There's so many options in how you're going to be able to use this. Again, going back to another one of Wendy's creations, where Wendy's used this going across the edge of the frame, I think is really lovely. And it shows you that extending ability to make it as long as short as you wish to. Another one here showing you how we can match this up with the stamps, how we can tuck it under our edges to look like a smaller border, how we could make it the focal of a card and cut it into some of our nested shapes. There's so much we can do with this one. And I am going to show you a last one here, because I love this little project that Wendy's done, where Wendy's turned them into the little edges going throughout her booklet. So the little pages, maybe this is a journal, maybe this is an album, the choice is yours, but it's lovely to see that little detail sort of peeking over the edges of each page. And then here, what I thought was really clever is Wendy's taken her guillotine, I'm going to say, and cut away just that panel from in the middle to make a completely unique die. When I see this for the first time, I was flicking through the booklet and I was like, where's that come from? I like that. I want to know what that is. And it took me a minute to work out that that was the central part from in this die. And that's what I love. That's what I love about our design team. That's what I love about craft, is that surprise element of where we can just cut away something and create something completely different with it. And yet it still matches in throughout the layers. So I was really impressed by that. I thought that was cool. Okay, and then on to our last item through this release. And this, of course, is our flowers. So this is our lace flower die set. In this set, there is 18 dies. And this one, again, matches up with the stencil, the stamps, and the MDF. So again, you can use that as a collection all on its own as it was intended. But you can bring in the die set now. You can use that on its own or with this. And with the 18 different dies, you can create some stunning effects. These break off into 3 different directions. You have got the solids, which match up with the stamps. You have got the embossed details, which hopefully you're going to see. Never easy to show that, but beautiful embossed panels for each of the main pieces. And then on top of that, we've got these two. Now, these two are filigree die cuts, unique to the rest of the collection in their formulation. And these, again, match up with these backing plates. And I'm going to be honest with you, there are so many things in life that don't hit me in the beginning, and it takes me a minute till I get there. And this was another one of those. It was only today did I think about this and think, well, actually, if we've got that filigree panel and that outside edge, and we've got this ability to make that edge, just like we have been, and this isn't a new idea by a long shot, it was just me thinking about what I could do with it. You know, like we did that, or we showed you that butterfly at the very beginning that Lynn had created, where she had done the filigree one, stuck it over the self-adhesive sheet version and infilled with glitter. It took me to today to think I could be doing that with these flowers. And how pretty would that look? You look at them on the board with the two different colours, actually thinking about those infilled with glitter or gilding flakes would look really, really nice. So I'm going to have to do that. That's another thing on the list that I want to do. So watch out for that, because I promise I'll do it at some point and we'll share that with you. I will be honest, I got carried away with doing the flowers with these. So stamping the stamp and then die cutting out with the dies to create this style of flower, because I really fell in love with those and ended up doing most of my samples in that format. But there's so many more ways you can be using these. These deboss ones are the ones we're going to be focused on our first demo. They're so pretty to see and work with. But it doesn't matter which way you take these, whether you're using them with the matching stamps, whether you're using them as solids and then stamping something else over them, embossing them, making them out of glitter, adding your own doodles to them, is up to you. There's so many different ways we could be using those. As a collection of dies, 18 different components opens up a whole lot of options. And then the last element I just wanted to remind you of is the stamp set, which goes with this collection. There's nothing new to go with this one. These come out last August, but you've probably seen a lot of these on those samples, and it's just a nice reminder to share these with you as well. In here, we've got quite a few sentiments. You've got happy birthday, sent with love, birthday wishes, thinking of you, thank you, get well soon, happy retirement, best wishes. And then a few sentiments as well, or larger ones, saying sending you all the wishes in the world for the happiest year ahead. That would make a nice die, wouldn't it?
That would make a nice die.
That would make a nice die.
Small
That isn't a
sentimental
hint
die.
to anybody listening. That's me going off on different
You're
tangents.
changing the tone of voice.
It wasn't a hint tone, I promise.
Slightly revealed
I promised
voice.
it wasn't a hint. Sending love and wishes on your most magical day. Sending hugs. Hoping you have the most fantastic day filled full of birthday magic to help you celebrate this special day. Getting a bit long for a die now. That's a bit of a
Or is it?
marathon. And then I pulled this one and pushed you even further. Why do you go to the Mystic Meg
Because
voice?
you're doing the...
I've got the temptation voice. Or is it?
Oh,
It could be your day.
You too.
I love our Mystic Meg. I miss her. And then we've got, that makes it sound like she's dead. I don't think she's, is she?
She
Oh,
did.
no.
Mystic Meg.
Oh,
So, yeah.
oh, that's new
Few years
news.
ago, I think.
Really?
I believe. Yeah.
Oh.
She was lovely.
She was lovely. I loved Mystic Meg. She never predicted I was going to
She
win.
didn't.
though. She
She never chose us.
No, never chose us. I was about 12
don't think
in
she
the
chose.
days of Mystic Meg. I don't know if there was an ask then.
We glaze over.
Yeah. Wishing you the most magical birthday, filled full of love, presents, cake, and wishes for the year ahead is the last one on them. So that gives you a little overview of this gigantic collection. Adding the two together of dies and stamps, there's absolutely loads of it. We might take a little flick through it at the end if I remember. But that is the brand new release. It's basically the 5 new dies, which we've sort of teamed it together with this collection, but can completely stand on its own 2 feet. It's just down to what type of crafter you are. Do you like bringing in your stamps and your MDF? And if so, having the ability to mix and match between all of it is brilliant. Or if you wish to stick to your dies or stick to your stamps, you know, we all have our sort of comfort zones, don't we? It's funny actually, since like bringing out the Cuddly Clan collection, how many comments I've seen where I've seen people who have said things like, I don't normally stamp, I only die cut, or I only die cut, and this is kind of making me do the other side of what I don't normally do. And I think this collection is very much the same. It's giving that confidence boost because it's easy and it works together, and that temptation to a world that we might not have yet been doing too much of. I often say I'm not the biggest stamper, I'm not, I absolutely love it. And having this in sort of new way to explore stamping and reason to explore stamping has been really lovely. And then the last bit before I catch up with the comments and make sure that I've not missed any questions is our new gemstones glitters. Now these of course became available to the stockists as well today. There are 4 colours in these. These are aquamarine. Let's do it on here actually because you might see it slightly better. You've got aquamarine, we have got pink sapphire, we have got Larimar, and lastly we have got violet sapphire. Now these are absolutely beautiful, as I'm sure you can see on your screen, and have been incredibly popular. Our stockists have already been topping these up today, so I can really see that you fell in love with these. And these of course add on as an addition to our I've just thrown them all across the place. There is also a black. I've got another one over here, don't worry. But they add on to the original 4 that we brought out, which was the silver, the black, the copper really, and the gold, which is Heliodor, rose quartz, black onyx and argentite. And I give you a mention to these ones because I feel actually this is a very summery palette, and it's quite nice to look at this and think, well actually I'm going to break these up with some of the darker tones, some of the other metallics, and work those together. Who doesn't love lilac and silver together, for instance? Black and pink looks really good. That blue going with that's really cool as well. That sort of rose copper and the blue, that gives me steampunk vibes, which kind of leaves us with blue and gold. Weren't planned, but could be a nice combination. So knowing that there are other colours in this collection already is possibly kind of nice to know if you've not seen those. So, okay, have we missed any questions before we actually do some demos and I stop waffling rubbish?
No, I don't think so.
No? Good. Have we missed saying hello to anybody? It's always
Yes.
nice to make sure that we've welcomed them. So, Alison loves how everything goes together. That's always our aim. You know us. If we can, we'll always try and make things coordinate. Because if it's nothing's more frustrating, is it? And we've all had these products or these brands or these bits where you kind of get a die and it doesn't quite go with the circle you've got, the square you've got, or whatever. It's not always possible, but if it's possible, we'll make it work because that's our aim. We know that frustration. I see a question from Judy and I think I've just lost it. Where's it gone? I never was a stamper until Jamie introduced me to a stamping platform. Now I love colour and I find it very relaxing. I'm with you, Judy. I think that was something that always put me off of stamping for many years, was that sort of getting it right first time kind of feeling. It isn't always about that, but now having a stamping platform that, fail safe, isn't it? We can't really do that wrong. It just means that it's easy and we can redo it. So absolutely. Judy, just love what you did with the flowers. Thank you. I really enjoyed making those. Wendy, the butterfly die cut into card sample is stunning and so easy. Thank you, but so easy, nothing complicated. Kim's a bit late. You're okay. It's all right. There's no rush, Kim. We're only rabbiting on, really. Zoe says that they're very pretty and would make perfect for wedding invitations. Absolutely, that could be a really nice look, actually, especially wedding invitations, because sometimes you don't want it to be too lovey-dovey necessarily, but you want it to be pretty and lacy. And you might be going really modern, so maybe that lace border cut in cream with some craft card, that could look really pretty. Very nice wedding idea there, Zoe. I like that. Very nice. Okay, shall we get on with something, shall we? Now we've rabbited. If you would like to win this evening's cards, not that me and Pete are hungry or was unplanned for this evening. We had a late night visitor. That sounds wrong. We had a late planned visitor. An unexpected guest? Oh, I don't know. My sister popped round. She does this from time to time. So we were kind of catching up, trying to get ready for tonight. Hence why the jacket potatoes weren't in the oven until just before we went live. And question-wise, our question for you this evening to win the cards is, what do you like on a jacket potato? What's your topping of choice? And if you don't eat jacket potatoes, you can just tell us you don't like them. Any jacket potato related comment will get you entered to win whatever we make tonight.
We do ask some random questions, don't we?
Well, I would like to go out on a limb and say, if you had surveyed all of the people who are going to watch this before it went live or before they watched it, and you had said to them, what is the question going to be this evening? I very much doubt any of them would have said it's going to be what I like on a jacket potato.
Sounds like Jamie's episode. Is it Family Fortunes? Was that the programme where they surveyed 100 people?
Oh!
Do you remember that?
I don't. Was that Family Fortunes?
Was it Family? I can't remember. Help
was
me
it a
out,
Dennis
guys.
guy who did it? Dennis
I would say
somebody?
there's Dennis.
No.
No?
Was it?
Oh, help me out. I'm on my
Okay,
own.
you're going to have to let us
Is it
know in the
Les
comments.
Dennis
Was it
Family
Les Dennis?
Fortunes?
And was it called? It was
Yep.
called. We've got the board game for that. Family
have.
Fortunes. We have the
have.
little slidey
That'd be
bit.
interesting to play by now, wouldn't it?
I'd probably be very out of date because I can't remember what era we bought that one in. I love a board game. Okay, so let's show you what we're doing. You ain't tuned in for our random questions. So this is what we're going to do. Very, very simple, very, very easy, quick demo for you, because sometimes it's nice to show you just how simple things can be, mixed in with the complicated. This really is about talking about these flowers, because I love these flowers and I love that level of deboss work we can create with these. Now, I remembered earlier, do you know what? Like, talking of having a bad memory, it's all come back to me today. I remembered that on air, Adam said, could we cut these out of vellum? And what would they look like? And would they deboss the detail? And I said to Adam, we'll do that in a minute, and then promptly forgot. And then I've remembered this earlier and thought, oh, we'll do that tonight, because that would be nice. And then I forgot to get some vellum. I'm starting to worry about my memory here, Pete. Are you seeing a theme? So I'm going to send Pete off to find us some vellum. Go on. This is like challenge Annika. No, I want it to be vellum, because I know what you're thinking, and it can't be that.
You do.
So I need it to be vellum, please. We can't tell him it cuts out of vellum and then not cut vellum, can we? That would be a bit weird. So, okay, this is what we're going to do. Where were we? He's gone to find some vellum. He'll be back in a moment. Let's see if we can find some cutting plates to do the cutting with. So we're going to use the flowers. Now, if you remember when we spoke about the flowers, I told you there was deboss elements and there was cut elements, and then you've got them lovely filigree bits as well, haven't we? And I've just realised I don't know if I've cut this out of mirror card before, so we're going to cut one of those too. So we're going to bring in some of the different emboss ones, or deboss ones, I should call them really, to show you how those cut. And we're going to go for a selection across the different sets so you can see how all of these come together. We'll also do a butterfly as well, because we've got them. We'll do one of those as well. And we'll do the flower head. So yeah, we've got a few of those bits. Let's see if we can find some mirror card. And we'll cut one of those. So let's go back over there. So you can see what I've picked. This is my selection. We're going to place those out on the board. So no trickery when we're using these sort of deboss dies. We don't need a rubber mat or any other details like that. We're just going to cut them like you would normally cut them. And we're going to place our mirror card over the top, and we're going to send this through the machine. And as these cut, not only are they going to squish down and do the cutting bit, they're also going to put that debossing work on it too. Sheila, he has escaped. See, this proves what a lie it is. He's left. He could be out the door and gone. But oh no, he's chose to come back. I don't know. I'm not buying the hostage bit anymore, Pete. You've blown the illusion. You've shown the truth. So all of these bits...
It was only a temporary reprieve.
But you could have done a runner. You could have been gone. And yet you've returned. This is what Sheila is raising.
He locks the front door
Oh,
and hides the key. He
locks
doesn't.
the front door,
Just in
hides
case
the
any of you are worried.
No,
This is just fabricated for
fabricated drama.
your entertainment.
We know better than EastEnders.
That's right.
I want to yell at you about my pub. I haven't got a pub.
We'll have Kim on us.
We would have Kim on us. So we're just going to pop these bits out. I used to love a bit of Peggy. Peggy was brilliant in EastEnders.
She was good, wasn't she?
She was, yeah. Her and Frank. This is probably the last time I watched EastEnders, to be fair. I used to love Peggy.
That was in the 90s, I reckon.
It's a long time since I watched EastEnders. Long time. Bit of Bianca and Ricky. So yeah, so there we are, all cut. I think Bianca's back at the moment.
We've gone from Mystic Meg to Les Dennis.
We're very 90s orientated tonight,
are.
aren't we? We're showing our age, absolutely. So, okay, all cut out, all debossed, which is really, really pretty. I love that border. That's the first time I've done that out of gold mirror. I really like that. How pretty is that? Now, of course, when we do these, not only could we do this with them, as in like mirrors and bits, we can also rub inks over the top of them. So we'll do a couple, actually. We're going to do some of the vellum, because Pete has gone and rescued some vellum for us. And we're going to trim a bit of this down, because I want to try a couple of different bits, save us sort of watching different runs through the machine. So we're going to do these ones over this side, and we're going to go for them as they are. And then because we're cutting vellum, and I'm worried that we might cut through on the deboss bits, we're going to bring these ones over And we're going to do those ones with a piece of paper wrapped around it, so that it's got a bit more body and it shouldn't then hopefully go through the vellum. So we'll bring in some copy of paper and we'll just cut a small bit off of this. And we're going to then fold that in half and put our vellum on the inside of it, so that there's a bit more strength to the vellum there. And then the last one we're going to do is we're going to bring in some card, because I'd like to show you the ink going over the top of these. And we're going to put that over that bit. And we're going to send this through and we'll see what results we get, because this is the first time I've done vellum with these, which is a bit silly because I should have done this earlier. But we'll see what happens.
Making me hungry
EastEnders
looking at all
specials.
these comments.
What have we got? Have you Sharon reckons you've got a tracker sewed in your trousers. That's a good idea.
I can't say a word.
I see not heard a word. Oh, no. I see a school the other day. I didn't read the article. I never read articles, just scroll, didn't I? And there was a school that reckoned that they were urging their parents to stop putting trackers in their children's backpacks when they go away on like group excursions, whatever they call them. I don't think that's the right name. Because it was a violation of privacy.
The field trips.
Yeah, that kind of. I thought that was quite cool, tracking your child. I know, like, you can do it on smartphones now as well, can't you? But I thought that was quite a good idea. Quite interesting. Never thought of that. So yes, I could get a little tracker for you, couldn't I? I could. I might do that. So
You might already do it.
I might already. Stop it.
I don't want to know the
We're
answer.
going too far on this one. They're gonna have the police here. They're gonna be raided one of these Monday nights. They're gonna raid us to try and rescue you. Well, I suppose that could be interesting. Okay, so all of these bits in white, we've cut those, they're fine. We're going to pop them off to one side and we're going to work with them in a minute. So our first vellum bit, these are cut fine. The debossed part, I'll lift them up in a second so you can see them. The debossed part hasn't damaged, it hasn't broken those at all. These ones here, these are the bits that were inside the paper, the borders and that. Those again have cut perfectly fine. The debossed bit is slightly more intense on those because of the extra pressure with the paper, but it hasn't actually pushed through them. They're fine. They're not damaged in any way, which is great. They haven't given me white work with either of them, but that could admittedly be the vellum type I'm working with. This is Creative Expression vellum. Come on, give us a bit of the bit.
See, I nearly grabbed some.
Come on.
But I was under
Sneak it in.
instruction because I wanted to be let out the room again.
So maybe, you might remember we had a product last year that we all loved. And I'm trying to remember the name of it because I can't remember the name.
Is that clouded?
I can't remember. You're going to have to look it up because I can't remember. That's bad. You can't get me a sheet, can you? Because I've got the wrong camera and you can't go nowhere. So we could just leave you. He is technically now trapped, in fairness, because he can't get past cameras. Let's let him through while I waffle. So we had a product that literally sold out in minutes. It was gone before we even knew it. And we've really struggled to get hold of any more of it. And we've managed to, it hasn't arrived yet, but it should arrive in the next couple of days. We've managed to get the last lot that has been produced of it. And there will be no more. And we're hoping that it will be here, packaged and ready to go for our next shows in a couple of weeks, if all goes to plan.
Clouded in Mystery was the name,
That's the
wasn't
name, isn't it? Clouded in Mystery. So this is like an ultra thick vellum that you can die cut, you can emboss, you can stamp on, you can do all sorts with it. And again, this is a good test because we haven't done this, I assure you. We hadn't even thought this, but we will send a few through the machine and we'll see if that comes out any whiter, why we're off on tangents that we're not meant to be doing. We're not even meant to be talking about this, but we'll keep you up to date when it lands. And I'll let you know more as we go through the next couple of weeks, but there should be some en route, hopefully. So we'll give that a little cut and see what that goes. Oh. How about an emergency services uniform for the family? I don't know. We could dress somebody up to look like they're rescuing you. I think we've lost Peter. Let's go to hospital. Peter's gone. He's in his own little bubble now. I
Help
think that's
me.
broken, Fran. I think that's broken. Judy says she doesn't think you can have a jacket potato without cheese and butter. I also like some broccoli to make them more healthy.
That sounds nice, actually.
Does that nice?
We're coming around to Judy's.
I'm with you for the butter bit.
I'm up for the Colorado visit as well.
Oh, I'd like to go to Colorado. I'd like to go anywhere.
Well, can we come and stay with you, Judy? We'll
You
come
can't
and
ask
crash you.
that. Talk about under pressure.
I'll bring you a... what can I call you?
Who are you calling? What, me?
Yeah.
I don't know why you're calling me anything. Don't feel it's positive, Peter.
Alison feels my pain.
Feels your pain?
Thank you, Alison.
So these, again, they've cut very nicely. No white work, but they have cut very nicely. They would be lovely. In with your white work that I'm talking about, I want to do, having a few of those, that transparency is very, very nice. Okay, I'm teasing you now because that isn't here, and I can't give you an exact date, but it is. It will happen, hopefully. I know that we've had people genuinely for months and months and months still kind of using up their last of that and coming to us and going, can I have some more? And us go, no, there is no more. So yeah, I have a feeling the new shipment, when it gets here, will disappear very quickly. Okay, so onto the background of this card, we're going to bring in, and this isn't the stencil I used our diamond stencil for this one, but tonight we're going to do something slightly different. We're going to bring in the balloon stencil, and we're going to take one of our panels. This one is a scallop square that's been cut with a pierced detail around it. We're going to place that down in the middle there. We're going to add our mat on the top, and we're going to send this through the machine so that it embosses that panel to create our background for us.
Judy says we're welcome anytime.
Oh, does she?
She does.
Oh, you might regret that.
You might
Judy.
regret that.
You might regret that.
You might too be locking your front door when we arrive.
Now we go to, if we're going back to the 90s, an old Edmund's house party, weren't it? He used to go and do that. Every Saturday I used to be convinced he was going to end up in my front room.
We're back to Noel Edmonds. We end up at Crinkly Bottom a couple of times, haven't we?
Did you ever go to Crinkly Bottom? We went to Crinkly Bottom.
Did you?
We did.
What, an actual place? Or?
Yeah. No. No, it's just a random trip in my mind, Peter. Yes,
in the 90s.
What's the 90s? He built Crinkly Bottom.
Did he?
At the time, I don't know. Sorry. At the time, Noel Edmonds owned Lightwater Valley Theme Park. I don't know too much where that up north is what we're going to say. Up north, up near Crafter's Companion, because we used to see the signs when we went up there. He owned that, and he owned Pleasurable Deals. Noel
Edmonds did.
Owned Pleasurable Deals and Lightwater Valley. And he built, I think, Somerset. But again, I'm going back on a tangent here. But he built Crinkly Bottom in Somerset.
Oh, I thought you said he built Somerset. I thought
no, he didn't build Somerset. But he built, I think it was, like, I don't know. And I was literally 7 or 8 maybe. And I can remember we went there. But I don't know if it was like attached to something else. I don't remember that bit. I just remember going there. And he'd built like Mr. Blobby's house. And if you Google it now, you'll find that it's all derelict and abandoned.
Oh,
and they've done videos going round it of like Crinkly Bottom Blobby's house covered in graffiti and things and smashed up.
I used to love Mr.
But
Blobby.
they built Mr. Blobby's house and a couple of the other houses and bits and made it into like a village. And all I can really remember from it is we had a little like plaster of Paris Mr. Blobby, and we all sat on tables and sat and painted Mr. Blobby. That's about the only bit I really remember of it.
Yeah.
Sorry, tangents tonight, and it's tangents.
We're working our way through Saturday night TV.
We are, but to me, and again, I'm going to show my age now, that was when Saturday night TV was good. We used to love a bit of Noel Edmonds' house party.
I don't think we know what's on Saturday night TV currently, but...
Well, this is going to be...
But no, I agree.
What's the word? Oh, I've lost the word. What's the... Not contradictory. When you divide opinion. What's that?
Divisive.
Yeah, that's not the word I'm thinking, but we'll go with it because it's probably more correct than what I'm thinking.
Teresa says, yes, it was Somerset.
Was it not? Thank you, Teresa. I'd say you're keeping up with our random
Cricket
thoughts
St.
this evening, aren't you?
Sharon says, Cricket St. Thomas in Somerset.
Could have been anywhere, to be fair. Memory like a sieve. And as I say, I was only about 8 at the time, but I loved it. Great, happy memories. So I've gone for the one with the diamonds on it, although we could have used the balloons if we wanted, either or. What are you chuckling at now? No, do we not dare ask? Is it that bad?
It's just Mr. Blobby, just made me laugh.
Mr. Blobby, we love Mr. Blobby.
I love Mr. Blobby.
I'm kind of surprised he hasn't come back.
I think he got about a bit out of hand and it carried on, didn't it, for a lot longer.
Yeah, maybe.
But, it's good.
I can remember that we celebrated when he got number 1 for Christmas.
And we want to sing along now. We all
We
know
was quite obsessed as a family to Mr. Blobby, hence how we ended up at Crinkly Bottom. Going to see it. So all I've done with my flowers, I've cheated. I told you this was going to be a quick demo. Is I've bought in lots and lots of flowers and layered them all up, and I've gone for different heights throughout the construction, so that we've got sort of foam pads dotted throughout them to bring in depth and layer them, which is a really nice way to treat these flowers. It's a bit like having an embossing folder, but one that's going to cut out and give you the ability to build it up. Really, probably the best way to describe them. And then I'm going to bring in that lovely banner, which comes with the hot air balloon, and I've added on the top of that a Best Wishes die, which of course is from the Sentiment collection, and I've added in a little butterfly, which I've double stacked down here to give a little bit more depth to the creation, really. Very, very quick, simple card. So if you haven't already, let us know what topping you would like on your jacket potato, and somebody will be chosen at random to win this one, because we'll post it out to you. So pop in the comments if you haven't already, and let us know which is your favourite. Favourite topping, that is.
Controversial was the word.
That's the word, controversial. Oh, and I never got there, did I?
Thank
I
you,
think I went off
Laurie
on
and
tangent.
Pippa.
Thank you for rescuing us on that one as well. Honestly, tonight we're going off on all different sorts, aren't we? And I've just realised, can we take this
What
off?
have you done?
We've missed the layer. That's a good bit about a glue that doesn't dry too quickly. Gone.
Whilst you're doing that, Judy's currently watching As Time Goes By with Judy Dench. She used to love that.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is. We're with you, Judy. See, look, we'll turn up on your doorstep. We'll watch an episode of that.
Oh, I used to love
Jacket
that.
potatoes with
Love
broccoli.
Judy Dench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing woman, isn't she?
She's an amazing woman. Absolutely amazing woman. Amazing actress.
Mm.
But that was a great series. Again, I know I said it once, but you go back to when TV, in my opinion, was really good. You know, we'll be back at keeping up appearances. It is keeping up appearances. And then what was the other one we went for a phase of watching recently? John Inman.
So Are You Being Served?
That's of course it. Yeah, Are You Being Served? I love that. So it's that era of comedy. But then it's the carry-on comedy.
Carry-on time, isn't it?
Love the carry-on comedy. So yeah, added in another layer because I forgot it in my waffling. Controversial bit before I forget again. Saturday Night Takeaway of Ant and Dec. Not a fan.
Oh, I see. I like
Not
that.
a fan. Not a fan.
Ish.
A lot of people love them, don't they? They win endless awards. I don't know. I didn't mind them. I haven't watched this in years either, but I didn't mind them on Britain's Got Talent. And I don't mind them on The Jungle, but I don't tend to watch The Jungle very often. Too many bugs and bits. But
What's the midnight game show? Am I being silly?
The midnight game show?
Kim says, imagine seeing Jamie and Pete on the midnight game show.
I don't know what that is.
No, you have to help us out, Kim. We're being a bit thick.
I don't know what that is. How do you think we'd fare on any game show?
I have no idea.
Let's throw that open to a general game show border.
What would you do if you suddenly turned on the telly and there we were? I don't turn off.
I don't think that would be advisable. Maybe that should be the question of what game show would we want to do? If we was going to do a game show, what game show could we do?
Crystal Maze is what you'd like.
Crystal Maze, you're having a laugh. I'd be dead. When Crystal, I could get you locked in a room. That could be good. But I don't know. I need to get some dyes. I'm disappearing. I will be back. I don't know what game show we could do. I certainly couldn't do any of the Get Me Out of Ears or any of that kind of buggy bit.
No.
Big Brother, I think I'd go insane. I don't think I could handle being... Not that that's a game show as such, is it? But I don't think I could do that. There must be one we could do. You're not committing to anything.
No. Generation Game's getting a few comments.
Generation Game. What was that one? I remember the name. I'm trying to place
the conveyor belt one.
Oh, it's a cuddly toy. Was that the
Yeah.
generation game?
Bruce Forsyth, but then there was someone else before, wasn't there?
Didn't Jim Davidson do that?
Someone else did it after. Yeah, maybe.
Jim Davidson?
Maybe afterwards.
I can't actually remember the point of the show at all, but or how you won or what you were doing. But I can remember I really liked Des O'Connor, and he had little boxes.
Oh, there was Open the Box, wasn't there?
I can't remember what they did or why they did it
game?
or how they did it or why, but I loved that.
That was good. I like that.
I
Was
loved
that
that
where he
as a
used to
show.
give you the money and say, do you want to open the box?
Oh, I think so, yeah. Are you going to take
that
this? You're not
was
going to...
good.
Yeah, I like that. That was good. We are not telling these poor people anything we are doing. They've basically turned into some sort of 90s version of Jonathan Ross.
Next week we will just be crafting. We won't
We need
do...
to stick to what we're meant to be doing. I'm sorry. We've had a day like this, haven't we, Pete? We've been all over the place, but never really actually focused on anything we're meant to be doing, so apologies. So, okay, onto our card. This is the one we're doing, and we're going to bring in our layers. So we're using our scallop square, our pierced square. We're then going to go to our ovals, and we're going to use the pierced dot oval, which comes with the scalloped ovals, and we're going to use the plain oval to go in the middle of it. So we're using 1, 2, 3 sets.
Kim says that Midnight Game Show is on Michael McIntyre show
Oh, okay.
on Saturday evening. He surprises famous people in bed at midnight. I don't think we'd be in bed at midnight.
We're okay. We're safe with that one, I feel. We would be up, wouldn't we?
We would.
It's very rare that we go to bed before, well, after midnight, usually about 1. So we'd probably be okay for that. I quite like Michael McIntyre. The only bit I ever see of that show, and I think I'm on the same show, I might be on the wrong show, is when he does that text everybody in your phone book, and he brings in celebrities. Have you never seen this?
It rings a bell, but apparently Noel Edmonds was on that on Sunday night.
Oh, was he?
So we might have to have a bit of catch up.
We might have to have a bit of a catch up. Yeah, no, he does. He brings in. I don't know how set up it is because you tend to think there's an air of set up to
Some
these
of it's
things.
got to be.
But like he had Sharon Osbourne on one, and the idea is he takes their phone, and then he writes a text, and then hits send all, and it goes to everybody in their address book, and then they text back, and he reads out the replies of whoever said what. And I can't. This was only a video I watched, but with Sharon Osbourne's, he wrote something like. Hello, darlings. My surgeon says I've bought so many facelifts, I'm allowed to give one away free as a present, and I think you're in need of it. Would you like to take me up on it? Something along those lines, and then sends it out to our whole address book. I found that very funny. Very, very funny. And then people text back, and I think Ozzy replied to one of them and was like, no, Sharon, don't want a facelift. But there were different people you might know who responded. So we've cut that out, and we've created now our aperture and our pierce detail running around the top and the bottom so that we've got our central piece. I've already done that and have one here ready. And then on the inside of this, and this is something I kind of really like doing actually, this is taking the lace square, but we're going to hide it underneath the oval to make a different sort of pattern, a diamond-esque pattern, in the middle of that frame. Now on the original I kind of put it more square, but this time we're going to go more for the diamond pointed version of it. So I've added some 1mm foam tape to the top of the square, and we're going to remove that, and we're going to lower this onto the inside of that oval. So all around there we will see that we've now created that little kind of detail located within the oval, which I really liked. I thought that was kind of delicate and pretty, and kind of gave me a different use for that square die, which is just nice to see it go off in different tangents. So we're going to bring in our card blank. I haven't told you sizes tonight, have I? All this chat about random things, and we haven't even told you the bit we're meant to. Card size for this one is 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. The one we did earlier, that one was 6 3/4 by 6 3/4. So we're going to bring this in, and we're going to place this down onto our card. Send to all, Jamie. Kim says, that's the one. Send to all. I thought that was very funny. He did one with, honestly, I'm starting to worry. What was her name? Not Cheryl Lloyd. Not, I want to call her Sherry. Cheryl was in like, the one who married Liam Payne. Cheryl Vasini. That's the one, Cheryl Cole. I partially remember the Vasini
What was
bit.
the other name?
I can't remember that either.
Vasini Vasush.
She did, didn't she? She married, was he Italian? something like that.
It was double-barreled, wasn't it?
Yeah. There was a Vassini or something in it. Oh, was there a Vassanders? I don't know. I don't know. We're not good at this, are we? So yeah, but she did one as well of the Centaur things. So okay, next what we're going to do, coming back on track again, is we're going to bring in some card, and we're going to anchor that down, and we're going to bring in some stamps underneath my pile of goodies here. I do have some stamps. Let's see if we can dig those out and find the right plates to our board. And we're going to bring in just a couple of the flowers. So let's go for these sideways ones. And we'll do the biggie as well. I haven't picked up the biggest bit of card, have I? So we're going to do the side profile of the flower, the one with a little branch, and we're going to do the biggest one as well, the big flower. We're going to pick those up and we're going to stamp these out. Now I'm going to use our Black Panther ink, which is a quick dry pigment ink for these. So being pigment means we could heat emboss it if we wish to. This is also alcohol marker friendly, so we can colour them in once we've cut them out. It's also waterproof, so we could do our watercolour techniques and bring in misters and all of them sort of bits and bobs with them as well if we prefer. So lots and lots of choices of how we could use this ink or how we could use our stamped images. But once stamped, we're going to find the matching dies and we're going to anchor those down and we're going to cut these out as well. So I'm going to just dig in to find those matching dies. That's that one, that's that one. And can we see the side one? There we go. There's the 3 we need, and we'll hold those down with some masking tape so that they don't move as they go through the machine. Still don't know what game show we could do. Has anybody been watching? And it's just finished, so I won't tell you who won if you have been and you haven't caught up. Has anyone been watching the Beast games on Prime? Mr. Beast, I didn't know this because I'm not with it at all, is a YouTuber who's got billions of followers. I think he's the most followed person on the planet, if I remember rightly, or in the world, however you want to put it. And Prime have done a show with him, and it's kind of like probably the closest you're going to get to a game show like Squid Games without people being killed off, really, isn't it? It pushes every boundary as far as they can be pushed. But it's kind of good. It's kind of entertaining. And then they win. The whole idea of the show is they're competing to win a $5 million prize, which is the largest prize pot ever given away on a game show anywhere in the world. But each week they do different challenges to proceed, and he starts off with 1,000, literally 1,000 people are in the first game, and they quickly sort of dwindle them down and end up obviously with a winner at the end of it. But like the last show, I think it's like 5 or 6 people. But that was kind of good, wasn't it? I don't think I could do it by a long shot, but it was good watching. So we've gone through and we've now cut all of the elements that we need to match in. So our dies have purposely matched up perfectly with our stamped image to cut them out for us, so we don't have to fussy cut. Everything's done for us. We of course have the aperture left by the die as well, which could easily be used. We could possibly even make some little frames and then sink in the cut out pieces below them or the stamped images below them. So I often think we forget the negative part, the cutaway part, but actually there's some really lovely techniques we can do with those as well. So I do like to give them a little mention if I think of it. Once these have gone through, we can bring in our colour. So let's do just a small amount of colour in with an alcohol marker, going over our alcohol-friendly ink, so no bleeding, no need to worry. And I do tend to do my stamping, then my cutting, then my colouring, just in case for any reason anything moves as it goes through and I'm not happy with the cutout. It would have been a bit of a time wasted to colour them, then cut them, and find I don't like the cut. So if I cut them first and then colour them, I know that I'm going to be happy with what I'm doing. It's kind of the longest part of the job, so saving that to the end is probably my safest bet. If something does move as it goes through, which does happen sometimes, depending on if I remember to anchor the cuts down, don't forget that you've got that white edge that runs around these cutouts. And that can be kind of handy, because if your die does move slightly and you're not completely happy with where it is, you can trim round it and end up back in the beginning of sort of having the edge instead. So nothing's wasted unless it really moves. But even if it does, you might want to tuck it into some flowers and make a bouquet with it. But there's many ways in which we can sort of disguise that if it happens. But yeah, it certainly makes it a lot quicker to have those matching components. So with this one, we're going to start on our base layer and we're going to tuck in our first piece of foliage coming through from underneath there. We're then going to kind of wing it a little bit and bring in some of our extra foliage bits. And we're going to try and go round, so we're following the oval, kind of go round the oval to frame it as such, best we can. So we're going to bring in the next part of our foliage. And we're going to place this one coming up from the top of the flowers, but again, kind of going around that area. And then we're going to bring in our flowers. We're going to start off with our biggie, and we're going to place that one coming down this edge here. And then we're going to bring this one in. Now this one has got the attached foliage part to it. So we're going to bring that one in, and we're going to place this one going up and over the top of that foliage to again build up round into that corner. So we're accentuating around that corner. To balance this out, because obviously we've gone very foliage into the oval, I'm going to bring in another piece and we're going to place that in underneath that flower to bring it down and round slightly. To finish this, we're going to bring in one of the butterflies. Now the butterfly stamp comes with the butterfly stamps, and then of course the butterfly die comes with the butterfly die set to cut it out. And we're going to bring that in and we're going to place that in the middle of the oval. So again, a nice, quick, simple card with very little sort of fuss, to be honest. Very easy to do, but once cut and layered, hopefully very pretty. I know when we shared this picture somewhere on Facebook, on one of our pages, somewhere along the line, it was one of our most popular shares from this collection. And I think it's kind of nice to show you how you can pare it back quite a bit. A lot of the cards we've done are quite heavy because the lace collection is very full on, but actually showing you how we can bring it back and just focusing on just the flowers, maybe the odd butterfly, can look really nice and very elegant. I think all of this white space certainly helps as well. So many people like the white style, clean and crisp cards. I don't tend to do many of, to be fair. So it's kind of nice to show you again that, of course, this collection, if that's a style you like, will work for you in that way too. Because sometimes I think I forget that. I go off on different tangents and kind of forget it. Have we missed any questions? Don't forget, by the way, if you haven't already, let us know what topping you like on a jacket potato. I know, it's random. To be entered in to win one of the cards, or win the cards that we make this evening. Pete will pick a winner shortly. Have we missed anything, Pete? I'm just going to check I haven't missed anything on here. Oh, there's lots of suggestions for game shows you've not been telling us, Pete. Do you know what? Just scanning over them, I couldn't do any of them. Any of them at all. Let's have a look. Blankety Blank. I think that's... I don't really remember Blankety Blank, which is strange because I absolutely loved Lily Savage, so I should have really watched that, but I didn't. I think that was possibly... I was possibly a bit young, maybe. I don't know. I can't often say that. I'm going to go with it. Celebrity Squares, I don't know what that is. Catchphrase, I was never any good at them. I'd need like 3 hours to work out one of them. I never got them. Even when they told me, I was still like, what's that about? I don't understand. I didn't know Terry Wogan did Blankety Blank. Wendy says Terry did that. I didn't know Terry Wogan did that. I love Terry Wogan.
Did.
Terry Wogan on the Eurovision Song Contest. That is the happy days of the Eurovision Song Contest. Nothing against Graham Norton, but Terry was certainly, he had got it. Still couldn't do the Crystal Maze, I'm afraid, Rose. I would die. That would be the end of me. I would be on the floor. It wouldn't work, honestly.
Fran's just given a little winky with gladiators and little monkey.
Gladiators? Oh my goodness! Do you think of that travellatory thing at the end?
Well, I don't think I'm thinking of the travelator.
I'd need a week. I'd need a week. It would be, can we turn it, even if they turned the electric off, I still don't know if I'd get up it. I'm not the fittest person in the world by a long shot. Should we do another demo while we run through these? Terry was the original host for Blankety Blank. I completely missed that. Bullseye. I see Bullseye. Couldn't do that either. We have a dartboard downstairs. Not very good at that. Not very good at that at all. I don't know. We need to come up with some game show. I'm the weakest link. I know I'm the weakest link. That wouldn't work. I used to have, not hate, hate's a strong word, but on liveshopping.vip or highlight crafts. Still don't know what I'm meant to call that one. when they did the quizzes, I never knew them. I used to feel like a right plum. I'm kind of glad they've sort of phased them out a little bit because I never knew what was going on. I'm not convinced that they possibly still do them on all of the other shows and just phased them out for me because they realised it was cringeworthy that I knew nothing. I knew nothing, which is strange actually because I do love. We do play a lot of games about general knowledge and things, don't we? Not intelligent ones, in fairness, but I do love a game about things like that. I don't know, maybe it's the pressure of them, as in like being there, but I'm never very good for that. So okay, for our next card, we are going to bring in. I want to say my favourite, but I feel like I've said that a few times already this evening, and it, you're going to think I'm lying, but I love a hot air balloon. I don't know. I might have told you this once before. My granddad used to ring us. Have I ever told you this, Pete? I might have told it on a live. My granddad used to ring us, especially Lisa, whenever there was a hot air balloon in the sky, going back many, many, many years to before he lived with us, obviously. So again, I'm back in the 90s. Well, it's with us tonight. But he would ring up and say and tell us, have you seen the hot air balloon? We didn't live that far away from him at the time. And there was often hot air balloons up, and he'd ring us and tell us that they were up in the air. So I don't know if that's where my love for hot air balloons comes in, probably, because I worship my granddad. But yeah, so I've always loved a hot air balloon. And I just think they're such a whimsical sort of cool item that can be coloured in so many ways. So actually having a secondary hot air balloon now in our collection as such, with the dye version, and this one I think you're going to see a lot more hot air balloon-esque creations from me, because especially the dye, I really like how lacy that dye has ended, has sort of turned out. So I need to do more of that. I think that's going to be one of them things you see me sneak in on lots of different projects coming up as we sort of, when we fit back into crafting for crafting's fun as such, crafting for different projects. So I'm going to bring in the dye to match up with this one again, and we're going to match that over the top here, and we're going to anchor that down with a bit more tape. The chase sort of tipping point. See, we go back. I'm not very good with telly. We do watch a lot of TV. Well, not a lot, but we do love TV. But we watch a lot of murder shows, don't we? Really, anything
crime
like
shows.
Yeah, but they're all murders, aren't they? Very little else goes on. It's all. But we do like a good murder for our TV viewing. A good whodunit. Who was that? Where was that? Why was that? Is kind of mostly what we watch. I don't tend to watch many game shows, as you can probably tell. Mastermind, specialist subject. That is a good question. What would your specialist subject be?
Sweets.
And that's to all of you, not just
Sweets,
Pete.
it'd have to be, wouldn't it? Yes, candy.
You could do either of them. Yeah. I'm trying to think what I could ask for. Somebody, I don't know. Again, I've never watched Mastermind. You can probably tell. Somebody did the Kardashians as like their specialist subject.
Oh, her.
Yeah, I don't know much about.
We could have Amy Rodgers as the specialist subject.
So I don't know if I'd know much about that either.
Oh no, we'd be quizzed about you.
Oh, okay. The random things I tell you. He went to Crinkly Bottom aged 8 and painted a figurine of Blobby. Yeah, that'd be a bit random, wouldn't it? I'm sorry, you lot. We've gone off on some random tangents tonight, haven't we? You're never going to watch one of these again. Fran says, what about MasterChef? Oh, I can't cook, Fran. Honestly, it's a worry. I don't know what I can do, but I can't cook. Cooking, I can just about defrost, and then I burn everything because I prefer burnt food. So yeah, I'm not good, am I? We do need to, I feel like before the evening's over though, we do need to come up with something I could do as a game show.
Sorry, Diane says about turning your balloon upside down, make it like a lovely perfume bottle or something.
Oh, that's a good idea, Diane. Pete's very on it tonight.
That makes out that I'm not normally.
Wow, didn't want to say anything. He has hooked up this sample that Ian created, where he's turned it into a vase, which I thought was very lovely. Vase. Try to say that posh. Vase. Is it vase or is it vase?
You sound posh when you say vase.
Is it wrong though? Probably
I don't think it's wrong. It's just posh. I didn't know you were posh.
I'm not posh. I have to try.
That's what I'm thinking.
The lovely flower holder that Ian has created here. is, of course, with the hot air balloon, and he's trimmed the top of it off and put it back at the mouth of the vase to create the sort of neck to it, which is very lovely. But yes, it could be a perfume bottle. That's a great idea, Diane. I like this. This is why, Diane, you need to be on our design team.
Oh, we've gone there.
I have gone there. Keep trying to bribe her.
Diane, we need you.
Might just start sending her stuff randomly in the post.
Mm.
She'll have to join then. So, but no, sensibly, it's a very good idea.
Diana's left alive, it come up with.
Did it? She's done a runner.
We don't get notified of that, just in case you think we do.
Fear of being roped in. So on this one, I've coloured around the edge of it with an alcohol marker just to match in with the colouring that's coming up on the above layers. We're then going to bring in, I don't need that one, do I? I've got one over here with tape on. We're then going to bring in a white layer to cover up that coloured bit so that we don't see it, but we just see the edge left so it matches in with the next stage to our card. You're chuckling again. Why are you chuckling?
Diane's just laughing. She put loads of laughing emojis.
We will get her one day. We will.
We can bribe.
We will bribe.
Can we bribe?
We will bribe. We've got a lovely team. We're very, very lucky. We have an amazing team. Aren't they? What are you chuckling at now?
They're just little things.
Little things.
No, Alison, that's my glue lady, isn't it?
Our Alison Smith is our lovely glue lady.
She says, so Jamie, you're a fussy eater. What are you having on your potato?
Oh, don't ask questions, Alison. Honestly, it just gets weirder. There is no normality to my eating habits. So on my jacket potato,
it's relatively normal.
It's not really, is it? It's kind of more normal than some of the things I eat. On my jacket potato this evening, I will have grated cheese, but
butter
and butter, always butter, lots of butter. But I don't like melted cheese, so I don't have the cheese on the potato. The cheese has to be cold, like can't even be near the potato. If it gets too near the potato, has to be distant from the potato. So like if we go out, I love a jacket potato, but I'll request the cheese separate. I'm one of them nightmare customers. So I'll request the cheese to be separate. If we've got any, then I also love carrot with my cheese. And then I will mix my cheese and my carrot together, grated obviously, because that'd just be random. It wouldn't
just
work,
like
would it?
big carrot still.
It don't look like a
the Millennium Dome.
Come back to the millennium again, aren't we? Honestly, we're on a roll. But grated cheese and carrot mixed together with my jacket, not on it, but with it. But yeah, that is all I'll eat. Or I'll just have it plain with butter and salt as such. So onto our layers. Randomness, isn't it? Just randomness. I'm sorry. So on our layers, I've put down a pink layer, which we've cut with the postage stamp squares. And then on top of it, we've brought in that lace dye. Now, again, the lace dye has its separate edges. So you have got a top edge and you have got a bottom edge. We have chosen to leave off the separate edges. And we've just used the filigree panel and we have placed that inside one of the square dies, the same postage stamp edge. So we've removed them, this isn't the right one, but it'll give you an idea. We've put that around it, obviously the next size up, sent it through the machine. So it's going to cut out and leave that within the panel. So we've got this room above and below the border. And because we've padded it, we've got that little bit of height and little shadow created between the lace and the background panel, which is what we wanted to work with. We're then going to go and we're going to cut out, if I can find where I've put it, because I had it here a minute ago. Oh, there it is in front of me. We're going to cut out our Get Well Soon because we're going to put a little message on here. So we're going to use the Get Well Soon, which comes with this set of stamps. And we're going to use the banner die, which comes with the balloon. And we're going to bring that in. And I've already stamped my sentiment. We're going to place that down. We're going to match where it needs to be. And we'd send that through the machine. We won't do it because you've heard that quite a lot tonight, haven't you? So once that's gone through, that will then deboss that detail around our banner for us. And we can then bring this in and we can place it on our card. So we're going to go for around about there. And then our hot air balloon, which we've already cut out, is one I've coloured for speed. So again, we've matched in our colours. We've got the same purple for our card. We've got the pink coming through for the card layer. And then, as you can see, we've got that sort of tealy colour, which matches in with the tealy colour located within our layers. And then we're going to take off our foam tape off the reverse of this. I'm going to pop this on this card. And then we're going to leave you all in peace because I feel like you've had the most random evening with us tonight. I know often we go off on tangents and we kind of lose the professionalism a little bit. But tonight, I think we're next level.
I think we're up there, aren't we?
We're like They're never going to come back, Pete.
Well, Diane, I think Crinkly Bottom's done her in because she reckons she doesn't want us two banging on her front door.
Don't blame her. Don't
No.
blame her. We wouldn't be the best house guests anyway, would we, to be fair?
But we would be on best
Would we?
behaviour for the first day.
First day, and then
That's presuming we're there for a second day.
evicted. Just wake up to a little notice. Give us a little letter. Okay, so there are our 3 cards that we have created this evening. So hopefully that's give you a bit of an idea with this collection. Sorry, stockists, you know, representing you and sort of showing you and telling you all about you. And here we are talking about Crinkly Bottom for half the night. Very, very random. Alison asks, what about you, Peter, for your jacket potato? What are you having tonight?
Oh, well, I'm a bit low on options tonight, so I think it'll be cheese and beans, but I like it all melted together.
You do. You're a bit more normal, aren't you?
The
when it comes
beans
to
melting the
food?
cheese. Oh.
Yeah, he is very normal.
If I had a bit of bacon or some ham, that'd have been nice, but you know, I'm happy.
See, Pete is very normal when it comes to food. It's me that's a bit weird, to be fair. So yeah, he represents the normal between us. Lou says I could eat that because I'm very fussy. It only happened since I was on chemotherapy. Taste buds changed. That does happen, doesn't it? Absolutely, and it does change what we like. Absolutely. Okay. Teresa says my ex-husband loved his cheese. He would eat chocolate Swiss roll, cake with cheese.
Someone else said they like salt and vinegar crisp and chocolate spread, but you like sort of like, or you used to like them sort of combos, you know, Twix and a pack of crisps.
I did, yeah, I did. Oh, yeah. I'm not very. Up until recently, I've not been very good at eating crisps on their own. I have to eat them at the same time as chocolate, which Pete found very, very random. But it's literally like one bite of crisp and then one bite of chocolate. So you end up with like chocolate covered crisps. And every packet of crisps I eat, and there's not many in choices, then they all have their corresponding chocolate bars. And you can't go mixing them. Salt and vinegar crisps has to be a Mars bar. What's it has to be a Twix. You know, there's a list. Has to be matched up perfectly. So yeah, it is all a bit weird, isn't it? So yeah, no judgment with the cheese and the Swiss roll bit. Can we please leave these poor people in peace?
I think we'll have to. But Lou, they are winner. Other beans are available, but they are that brand you're chatting about.
Heinz. I think we can say it.
Well, you know.
Although they might complain.
They might.
We might get a letter.
Should we reveal the winner?
Come on, let's leave them in peace. They can
I think they've had
have
an
a peaceful evening.
Well,
sorry. I've got my game show.
What's going on? Oh, hang on, people. Don't tune out
I've got my game show. Fran has finally, after about 300 choices, come up with the one.
I'd love to do that.
We go back to being 90s. But yes, supermarket sweep, all over that.
Get your inflatable banana out.
I'm trying to... Moving on from that one, Peter. You've lost me. You've just lost me. I don't know. Do they still? I don't know. Somebody gets evicted halfway through, don't they? If they don't answer any of the questions right. I'm trying to think if it's a fail-safe. Does everybody get to the run at the end?
They do a bit of running, don't they? Little sweeps.
I think we just say screw it. We don't do the questions. We just go and attack Tesco.
I would love to do it.
I'll go in and you ping me on my phone and tell me what I've got to get. And we'll see how quickly I can get to the door.
Only if I had a live feed to their CCTV.
Me flailing down an aisle, half dead. I don't know if that would work. But no, supermarket sweep. I like that, Fran. I still don't know how many I would get through, but could be fun. Okay, if we give out a
professional, James.
No,
we're a professional.
We'll leave gone. Come on, give us the winner.
Anyway, so our winner tonight did yo-yo between cheese and homemade coleslaw, and then went to pulled pork.
Okay, so we're allowed a yo-yo.
Our winner is Teresa Rodgers. No relation.
No relation at all. Congratulations, Teresa.
Well done, Teresa.
Very well done. You'll win all 3 cards. If you would like to pop a message over to us on the page telling us your address and if you would like your card signed or not, either or, doesn't matter. It's more so that we know what to do with them, and then we will pop them in the post to you straight away so that you get them as soon as possible. Before we do let you all go, of course, the new collection is now available. Fairly some work, hadn't I, as we've sort of gone off on loads and loads of tangents and tell you the bit and try and bring it back. It's kind of professional for the poor stockists. I know some of the stockists watch this, they must be alarmed. Like, you know, what's going on there? So, professional second. The new collection is now available from the stockists. As we mentioned at the beginning of this evening's live, these are the 5 dies which do all coordinate with matching stamps and MDF and stencils, but it's these 5 which are the brand new element which has just been released today to the stockists. And on top of that, we also brought out our 4 new colours of gemstones glitter, which of course, as you've seen through many of the demos, we haven't demoed these tonight, have we? Next week we'll have to fit them into a demo. I know we demoed them last week, but we'll fit them into a demo next week, I promise, if I remember. But those are the 4 new colours of gemstones glitter. Something we didn't mention this evening, but I'm sure you all know this. They match our gemstones texture paste as well. So the same colours coordinate and are available in texture paste too. The stockists that have these items available already or will be announcing them in the coming moments or days, I'm sure, who have basically already got them on order and en route to them, are Gilly's Crafts, The Art of Craft, Cheshire Crafts, Into Craft, Craft Bliss, Craft Mania, Live Shopping VIP, and in New Zealand, they're all our English or UK distributors, or stockists, sorry. And then our international stockist, based in New Zealand, is Picture Stamps. And all of those have this collection available, or parts of this collection, if you would like to see more about them. Fran says, any texture paste into a demo next week? We can do that. That's not a problem. Next week's demos, we will, or next week's Monday Night Live.
Sorry, speaking of which, I think Judy asked about when the texture paste is coming back. It is on order, the clear texture paste.
Oh, the clear texture paste, yes, it is.
Sorry,
that took us by surprise.
But coming from China, it's, yeah.
We had a
huge.
We did have a huge. We had a lot for a product that we didn't know how well it would be received. But being honest, it far exceeded our expectations. So we have had a bit of a hold up getting more because China was shut for Chinese New Year. But there is more en route and already ordered and coming this way. So as soon as it's back, we will let you know. Check the stockists though. If you're looking for some, I can't remember which stockist bought that product, to be honest with you. Stockists, if you're with us this evening or you come to this later, then please, if you've got some in stock, let Judy know, and then Judy can track it down that way. But if not, do have a little look through the stockist list, because lots of our stockists did have the clear texture paste, and some of them may be lucky enough to still have a little bit of it left in stock. Next week, we will be back with some more demos and probably some more silly chat. So if you're around next Monday evening at 7 p.m, we will be here with you all. There's no new products to share with you next week. We're going to take a bit of a, not a bit of a break, that's a bit long, doesn't it? But next week, we won't be introducing you to a new collection. We will be just playing. So if you've got anything, like Fran mentioned, texture paste that you'd like to see some demos with, I'll have lots of bits on hand and we'll have a bit of a play and see what we can create. So join us next Monday at 7 p.m. for that. Congratulations again to Teresa for winning. We will get these in the post to you as soon as possible. And from me, thank you all for joining. Pop over to our hostage cam.
Hostage cam. Thank you all for joining. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Take care.
And we will see you all next week. Have a lovely week. Thanks for joining us this evening. Keep well, stay safe, and do lots of crafting. And don't forget to share it with us. That's the bit I always forget to say. If you are doing your crafting, especially if you're using our products, then pop them onto the group, created with Jamie Rodgers Crafts. Anything you've made with our bits, pop it on there. We'd love to see what you're doing. If your happy mail arrives, if you've ordered this collection or any other items from anywhere at all, and that arrives with you, then again, pop up a picture. Share with us what you've been ordering, what you've been getting. If you've popped into a store, share us a picture of what you've ordered or collected. We would love to see what you're purchasing and what you're using and what you're creating. So yeah, created with Jamie Rodgers Crafts Facebook group, please. Thank you all. Have a lovely week. Bye for now.
Bye.